Hey everyone, it's me. Who else would it be? So it's Friday, which means questions, answers, and a vlog or whatever. It's a sunny 65 degrees at 10 a.m. It's 9:54 technically. I'm gonna try to go to the grocery store after this, depending on how busy it is. Anyways, I just need to pick up a couple things. Like sandwich meat and bread and stuff for Josh. And milk for Josh, because ill milk. Sorry. This is, one of the Muros that we have all over town. We are the town of Muros. But anyways, yes, I am going to answer a question, kind of. I went around this morning and I drove to a couple houses. And these were houses that I looked at. I didn't go and take any video of the house that I was living at when I started looking for a house with my ex-husband. So, because I'll go into it in a minute. Anyway, so I looked at the 4 main houses, and I'm really sad because one of them, the one that I really wanted, I was talking about that. I don't know if it was in the members only or last week, or what. It looks like nobody lives there, and it looks trashed, and that makes me so sad because honestly, of all the houses, it was the most beautiful. It was the one I wanted, and they decided not to sell it. Their parents had died, and then they decided not to sell it because they were going to use it, so they took it off the market after I made an offer. So, yeah, it was a little weird buying my house because I'm going to be honest with you. I got a loan from a family member. And, like when you're in the city and you're looking at houses, they want like a approval letter from a bank or something. Here it's not so much like that because most of it is, there's not a lot of realtors in town. And a lot of the sales are private sales, or like I had to look on Facebook Marketplace. You have to drive around and look because we're really a couple decades behind here in Tucumcari. No offense, it's the truth. A lot of people don't like doing online stuff, or apps and stuff like that. Online menus for restaurants, a lot of them don't do it. It's very frustrating sometimes when you're the kind of person I am, where I like to look up the menu before I go so I know exactly what I'm ordering and how to ask for it and how much it's going to cost. I know, that's my own problem though. So yeah, a lot of marketplace. I did look on some websites, but those houses, I don't know. Yeah. The house that I found, I ended up finding through Marketplace. It was just because I was just searching and searching. I really wanted and I really needed to get out of the place that I was living at with my ex-husband. We were staying at his parents own a bunch of properties. And we were living at one. It didn't have running water. It didn't have good electricity. I was only allowed to use like certain rooms because the other rooms had my mother-in-law's stuff that she used for yard sales in it, and family stuff. And I don't know. They were charging us rent to live there. Well, me rent to live there. And we had to flush the toilet with a bucket. Or like if I wanted to take a bath, we turned on the water while we were using it, and then, or while we flushed, and then, we turned it back off because it was leaking underneath the house. And I paid to put in a new water heater that stayed with the house when I moved out. I got a new fridge and stove, gorgeous. The fridge wouldn't have fit in my new house because it was a double. It wasn't new, it was used. It was like $400. It was a double, gorgeous ice maker. Always wanted an ice maker. Can't do that at the house I live at now. It used to be a little fridge because the fridge place is cut out. It wasn't the other house was an open kitchen, and then also an electric stove, which I have gas at the new house. Honestly, I never want to go back to electric again. I was so terrified of having a gas stove because I've only had electric all my life. I love gas stoves now. I'm like, I never want to go back to electric, never. But it was a nice, really black flat top electric stove. I don't know if it's still in the house, but when I moved out, I couldn't get it. So it stayed with the place. They've remodeled it since then. Because, okay, they used to live next door in this gorgeous house that my father-in-law had built. It started out as like a little tiny shack, and he built it, and he just added on. And then they bought the house next door because I think when a family member lived in there, and then they bought the lot next door. It's like they own the whole block over there, except for the one house on the corner. And they have remodeled the place, and it looks gorgeous. And they live there now, I guess. But they used to live next door in this big, beautiful house that he built. But it caught on fire, and he almost died in it. Now, my father-in-law, I have nothing ill to say about that man. My ex-father-in-law. I have nothing ill to say about that man. Good man, hard worker, loves his family. You know, hard worker. Like I said, he built that home just the way she wanted, but it caught on fire, and he almost died in the fire because he went back in to save his dog. She was hiding in the bathtub, and he went back in and he saved her. And I'm getting a little teary-eyed thinking about it. Unfortunately, Cha-Cha has passed on because that was like 11 years ago. But yeah, he was in the hospital for quite a while. He had burns on like 65% of his body, but he ran back in and saved her. He loved that dog so much. He did. He loved that dog. And her and Lola used to be really good friends. They used to have play dates and stuff. But yeah, gorgeous dog. She was like a pug pit. So she was like a pit with a little puggy nose. Sorry. Like, oh, just a sweet man. Okay, anyways. So yeah, I was living in there, and it was horrible. And my ex, I didn't want to buy a house. I wanted to buy like a bus or an RV and travel. He's like, no, I need to be here. I need to help my parents. Whatever. So I was looking for houses, and he didn't like a lot of them, but whatever. The one house with the big fence that I'm gonna put in here, we did not get that one. It was we were gonna buy it for $32,000, and when we got it inspected, I always get a home inspection, if you know. So you know what you're getting into. The foundation was crooked. One of the bathrooms didn't work. And then the electrical in the kitchen was kind of wonky. So I was like, yeah, I don't think so. And it was gonna have plumbing issues. And also, like, the reason I really wanted that one is, okay, if you look, it's like the garage has a house attached. It had its own separate yard, but the plumbing wasn't hooked up. You had to dig, and because I was going to turn that into a mother-in-law suite for my mom. And anyways, it was kind of cool. It had like a loft that I could never go into because the staircase was like this big. But yeah, and it had giant bedrooms, but it was just really weird, and I wasn't feeling it as much as I should have, I guess. I just was eager to get into a house, but we decided not to go with that one because, like I said, after the home inspection, it was just like too many issues that I didn't want to commit to. And then the pink one that looks like trash and like nobody lives there anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna grab a mint because I kind of want to run through the grocery store. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, too many issues. Like that one, I wanted that one. It was cool. It kind of had like this. The bedrooms were separated by the bathroom, And it was real thick construction, like good solid walls. Like my house has very thin walls. And the rooms are right on top of each other. And that house that I was looking at had central heat, central air. I don't have either of those. I use a little electric space heaters, and I use window units for my air conditioning. So, it was never set up for central air or heating, the place I'm at now. Anyways, and then there's a little house with a big yard, and that one was just too tiny. And plus, like, it wouldn't fit my bed. I have a king size bed. It wouldn't fit my bed. And also the little lady who was selling it didn't want to sell it, but she had to. That one was only $25K. The pink house that I really wanted to move into was going to be $38. And this was in 2017. Wow. Was it? Oh my God. Sorry. I'm making myself feel really old here. Okay. I'm freaking out because, like, the thought that I've owned my house for 8 years is just, like, very shocking to me. It's just like, I have to remember. But yeah, and the other house, the little blue house, ironically enough, I was gonna buy that house, and it was like $19,000, but my ex hated it. He said it needed way too much work. My friends bought that house. I did not know them at the time, but that's the house that Josh was staying in with his mother when we did that thing. You know, the rebuilding era. The lost months, as I like to call them. So yeah, I almost bought that house too with my ex. But this one that I'm living in now with Josh, like, my ex thought it was okay. I liked it. I got it for $28. It's a 3-bedroom with a den, but I turned the den. See, originally, like, it was my studio. I had an office. I don't know. Like, this house has been. It used to have these French doors in between the dining room and the den, but I had those sealed over, and I turned the den into a studio apartment kind of thing without a shower and all that. For my mom. This house has been through a lot of things. Honestly, like, I feel as if because it doesn't really have any big issues. It did have a couple roof leaks I needed to fix. You know, and it still needs cosmetic stuff. Like, the floors are still cement. I just throw, like, rugs and stuff over it, because this town doesn't really have, unless you want to pay an arm and a leg and have people come from a big city and stay, and you gotta pay their hotel and their travel and this and that. There's not a lot of construction, like plumbing and roofing and flooring and all that. If you want it done right. It's either really expensive or... But yeah, I'm not really worried about stuff like that, though, because everything's functional. And I'm very blessed for that, because honestly, the one house had a lot of plumbing issues afterwards. There was a time when we were looking for a second house, and we had Larry, and his mom was going to move, and my mom was going to move here, And we had Larry, and then there was Kelly, and possibly my sister. We were kind of looking for a second house at the time. And there's one that I really wanted, and we were going to buy it. And then the guy stole it from under me. He's like, oh, when we went to go look at it and talk about the things, because I wanted to pay cash. And this guy, he's well known in town for selling houses like rent to own. He didn't want to sell it for cash. But I come to find out there was a lot of plumbing problems with that house eventually. So the universe was like, no, this is how it's going to work. I also used to own a couple of lots because we were going to do a gardening, like a community garden thing, but there's just too much red tape and loopholes and stuff that not enough people that wanted to participate. So I just got rid of that land as well. But yeah, it wasn't expensive. It was literally, I got it, like basically I called the owners. And I can't remember how I got the one on Dahoney. I know the one on Monroe. Okay, like my ex had traded this guy for part of it, and then I got the other half from the people that owned it. And I can't remember how I got the one on 3rd and Dahoney. I really can't. Oh my God, that's so weird. That was the good one too. I didn't pay anything except for the back taxes on all of them. I'm not even kidding. Like, all I did was pay the back taxes and the registration fee for the land. There's a lot of stuff. It's not as much anymore. But yeah. Yeah, I just paid the back taxes and the have the title, the quick claim deed. There we go. Yeah, but this house, you know, we looked at it. It needed a lot of cosmetic work. Like, it didn't have any doors when I bought it. Like I said, it was only $28,000. It needed a couple spots on the roof fixed. But other than that, like, you know, it's a pretty solid house. And it did kind of like, why is this whole side of the house windows? Or it has a double lot, huge yard. You guys, if you've been long, there's a live where I'm outside and I kind of walk around the house and show you guys. I'll link it below. You'll see what I mean by all the windows being on one side of the house. But I always was thinking to myself, oh, I really wish I knew why this was this, because some things frustrated me because I didn't understand them. So I was like, man, I wish I could talk to the person who built this house. And you guys have heard this before, because I was like, man, I really want to know this, and I really want to know this, and I really want to know that. And like, why is there no cross space? It's a cement foundation. The pipes are in the cement. But that's for protection for the pipes. And then like all the windows are on one side of the house, and they take up like the whole wall, because originally when it was built, it had like little brick things that went halfway up, and they were like half walls, and it absorbed the sun and the heat, and it was like this solar heating and cooling thing. It was, the original plan sounds like amazing, and then she's on YouTube. I don't want to put her YouTube tag because I don't know, you know, but like it's so weird because I actually talked to the person who built the house, and I'm like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. Like, all this stuff was confusing, and I'm like, why the heck this and why the heck that? But no, it made sense when she explained it to me, and I'm like, that was amazing. I wish whoever throughout the time bought the house and removed the walls didn't do that, because that's really cool. And apparently the den is new. It was not in the original plans for the house, which explains why there is a doorbell like where the house, okay, like where the den is, or the studio, or whatever you want to call it. There's like this little cubby, or like this little hallway, and there's a door, and then there's a door, and then there's a door. You go out of the den, into this hallway, and you can either go into the house or you can go outside into the patio. So originally that was not there. So that explains why there's a doorbell, because it was an outside door. And in a outside light in that hallway too. I was like, why is this? Why is that? Completely makes sense now. And originally it had a swamp cooler, but I had that removed because honestly, in my opinion, swamp coolers are useless to me. They don't do anything. Yeah, I just had that patched over. And so that is, you know, I remember looking at it, and like I said, the toilet was loose. That needed to be fixed, and that's fixed now. That was one of the big issues as well. But yeah, like, and it's fully fenced in. It had a doggy door, which was what sold me, to be honest. And it had a massive yard and a doggy door. I was like, okay, this is the one. There's no bathtub. It's a roll-in shower. The owners were living out of state in Arkansas, and they just wanted to get rid of it because they were sick of being landlords. They were from here, but then they retired where their kids are. So, but yeah, and then it's funny because a lot of people have told me, oh, I used to live in that house. Oh, I used to live in that house. I don't know how. I used to have a friend. I used to date somebody who lived in that house. I don't know how many times people have come over to my house and they're like, oh, you live here. Okay. It's weird. You know? And I know at least 2 ghosts in my house. If you don't believe in ghosts, just pay no attention to me. But there's 2 ghosts in my house that I know of. One lives in the den and one lives in the refrigerator. I believe in ghosts. I'm sorry. Actually, there's a video from way long time ago, where I don't know if anybody remembers Jamie Lee. She used to do YouTube videos. She still kind of does. Back in the day, back when I used to be friends with Karina Kaboom, and she was a little tiny, small YouTuber, tiny. She had a couple hundred subscribers, and yeah, we were just a little group. Angela was there too. Hi Angie. So, some of you are still here. But yeah, I got a box from Jamie Lee, and we were doing the unboxing, and there's a part, and I think I made it into a shorter video, where you can hear a ghost say, "Go away." It is freaky. I think I'll put that in the description box as well. But anyways, yeah, so I do believe in ghosts, is all I'm saying. So that is how I found my house. And then, like, I got another, when my mom was moving up and I was turning it into a studio, I got another small loan to do the work. Because, like I said, it's expensive to get the room, get new flooring, fix the plumbing, stuff in that room, patch the wall. So, and put soundproofing, because at the time, Larry was living with us. Larry's the blind guy. Some of you remember him, some of you don't. If you go through videos, there's videos of Larry. He's the blind guy who lived with us for a while. That story is kind of crazy too. Larry used to like to rap in the middle of the night. Like at 3 a.m. he'd be in the kitchen rapping. And my mom likes to watch TV really loud because she's partially deaf. Hi Mom, I love you. Anyways, so when we had the French doors taken out and the wall put in, we put really thick insulation there. So, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that was about $10,000 to have that whole area remodeled and fixed up and put together for my mom. Non-slick tile, painted, toilet, sink, stuff like that. But it worked for the time she was with us. And then it was the other mother-in-law suite for a while, and now it's gonna be turned into a studio. Not a studio apartment, but a studio. At least I hope. It would be nice to finally have, because you guys have been here for a while. You've heard me say, oh, I'm going to turn this room into an office. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do that. And I get there, and then, like, something happens where, you know, like my sister came, there goes my office. This happened, there goes my office. There goes my office. You know what I mean? So maybe this time. We'll see what happens. Oh man, I would love it to be my bedroom, but the electrical is kind of weird in that room, so. And plus there's no way to like connect it to the backyard, honestly. It'd be really complicated because right now the dogs can just have free access, come and go as they please. Can't do that if that's my room. So, because it's massive. Okay. So yeah, that's that. That's how I found my house, you know? It's not an exciting story, and I maybe don't remember all the details because it's been so long. It's so weird to me. So, yeah. And as of this month, the house is paid off. Now I'm just paying off the loan. Anyways, so the extra loan. Yep. So that's it. That's the only question I'm answering. Thank you, Life Unfiltered. Amanda, I'll link her below. And enjoy the little tour of the other houses I may have almost bought. Okay. Until next time, stay humble, stay kind, and watch out for the normal people. Laters.